Hi, I'm Neal Ward, I'm an actor and I'm here with Chris Gordon from Hellblazer Biz.
Hey everyone, I have the honour and the delight and the company of Neal Ward this evening, actor, fine actor from many things, The Code most recently, which is still in post, as well as, let me go in here now, you've got Pegasus, I've noticed some other things I'm going to ask you about, Pegasus Bridge and Not Quite, Invasion of the Not Quite Dead, which sounds interesting too, so many things we can have a chat about. So really looking forward to it and I appreciate you coming out here.
Anytime, mate, anytime.
Sitting in Leicester Square. For those who may have watched the videos before, you can see I have changed the scenery. It used to be the window.
The window has changed.
It has. We now have the window on the world.
Exactly. We've got some breakdancers down the bottom as well, so music may change. Might not edit together smoothly.
Yeah, continuity errors everywhere. Excellent. So yeah, no, I really do appreciate this. So I've got some questions for you, just to find out a bit more about yourself and things that you've done, and obviously the more of this we put away, the
more fun it'll get, the more gossip you'll get.
Exactly, yeah. So those won't be edited.
Yeah, no, we'll leave them in. Leave it all in. Let it be raw. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So first questions first is one out there. Is what's your best memory growing up?
Wow. I think the best. it's sort of my first memory really was. I've got a massive phobia of wasps.
Right.
So I used to have a shed at the bottom of the garden at my mum's house in Derby.
Yeah.
And it used to have all my toys in. So when I would go out to play, my mum would say, "What toys do you want?" and would go and get the toys out for me. And then when I suddenly got to a certain age, she gave me the key. So she gave me the key, so I was all excited to go down and get the toys out myself because I was old enough to get the toys out. Yeah. And I went in and put the key in and tried to turn it and heard like a buzzing noise, and I couldn't turn it and it wouldn't open. So I kept trying to turn it, and then this wasp flew out, stung me on the finger, and then I went running down crying and to my mum that I'd been stung. So that's my earliest memory, but that's probably the best as well, because it's anything I can remember as early back as that, which is where my phobia comes from there. So.
I've got a phobia as well, and it's exactly the same, wasps, because pretty much a similar age, I went for a running race around the estate. I used to live in Hemel Hempstead, and I went for a running race with my friends, and I just, you know when you clench your fist, you like that clench, I didn't know a wasp had landed right in the palm of my hand. Oh, great. So as I just went on that, right dead centre, the sting.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It is, it's terrible. I mean, bees
have a purpose.
Bees have a purpose. They're wasps little bastards. No. That's what.
Yeah, complete little bastards. They are. A bee would land on you and go, "Oh, that's not a flower," and fly off. Exactly, but a wasp will land and go, "Oh, that's not a flower," but fuck it anyway, and then stick you, and then go off, and then you'd be like, "Oh, well, there's no point in that."
Exactly. No, you can actually see the bee as well when it comes towards you. It sits there, you can see it visibly going, "Whoa!
What's this? That's not a flower." There's no.
When someone tries to swat it, he's still like, "No, go away!"
Anyway, I don't know if do bees know if they will die or not if they get stung. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I don't think they do. So they must be pretty pissed off to have to sting you.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Just an angry bee that thinks it can take on the world, but it can't.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know. You maybe watch the Bee Movie and you find they might have a hive. They've got a hive mentality, haven't they?
They do,
like
yeah.
The Borg.
It's like a collective.
So, collective. So they could do.
Hive mind. That's Rick and Morty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can we mention things? Yeah, we can mention Rick and Morty. Yeah.
Of course, you can mention who you want.
Mention Rick and Morty.
Excellent.
The hive mind.
Who did you want to use? Sorry. Just knocked my. Who did you used to want to be like the most as well? So obviously, that's kind of inspiration of what you did.
Yeah, I mean, I have sort of like a fixation with actors. So when I first started the acting, and you pick sort of a person that you most relate to, and the person you want to be like the most. So mine, when I was seriously into the acting, was Johnny Depp.
Right.
From previous films, sort of his early days. So what I used to do was when it used to be. Was it Play.com? You could buy DVDs from.
Oh yeah, God.
Yeah, back in the day, and they used to come in a little box. So I used to go through his back catalogue and then buy a film like every month or every other week when I'd see it, and get everything that he'd ever been in. So I've got a collection up until I think the first or the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
All right, cool.
And then I just sort of stopped buying them after that because they got a little bit shit. But yeah, I used to get all of his back catalogue, and then because he was more of a character actor and I enjoyed being stuff that I wasn't, and yeah, so it was Johnny Depp all the way, really.
Right, cool.
And then it was Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon's a weird one that everyone thinks, why'd you like him so much? But he was just interesting for me. He was
he did play some good parts, very interesting parts.
Totally individual, original character, and then so I used to collect his DVDs then, and then
He was Hollow Man, wasn't he?
Hollow Man.
Yeah, that was freaky. That was really
what's the other one?
Flatliners.
Flatliners. Terrible remake, by the way.
Yeah, it was
terrible.
Awful. Did have Keith in it, though.
Tremors.
Yeah.
Tremors, though.
No,
Keith was there.
Yeah, I know.
It's like the remake of The Thing. It was never allowed to be remade in my eyes. You can't remake The Thing.
No, The Thing remake. Yeah,
the scariest films in history.
Well, it was like anything. It's like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
They remade that.
Yeah, terrible.
Crap. Halloween, crap.
Terrible. Just a franchise, isn't it?
Yeah.
People making money at the top. That's
exactly.
That's all it is.
One good one I will say, and that's purely because one of my guests forthcoming is going to be George Romero Jr.
Okay.
Who obviously, his dad, he's taken on Rise of the Living Dead, I think it is. So he took it on from his dad, who obviously passed away last year. So that's the only remake. Well,
that sounds like a good one. We'll have a look at that. Yeah.
So we'll see. Excellent. So who would you like to work with then? Obviously, Johnny Depp.
Well, Johnny Depp now, I suppose he's sort of gone back to the way he was when he was younger, because he was a bit unhinged and a bit of a mental person. He was a bit of a rock star, and then he sort of went mainstream, smooth for the kids, for his two children, and then he's sort of gone full circle again. Had a divorce, had another divorce.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
then he's gone back to mental Johnny Depp, always having a good drink, and So nowadays, though, there is. I mean, everyone knows this about me anyway. I'm a big sort of a big follower of Tom Hardy's work, and there's a similar element in my.
Similar visage as well. I've seen that, people saying you're the next Tom.
Yeah, hey, there we go, yeah. So yeah, Tom is someone I'd like to work with. I'm getting closer. There's a couple of people I know that have worked with him and that are in talks about doing some stuff and trying to get hold of him, but we'll see. But that
fantastic. If you do, put him in my way, because I love him on my shows. He's got to be one of my favourites at the moment. He's
incredible.
He's just so versatile.
Yeah, he's loved by so many people. Like it's mainly the female population, but a lot of actors that are male just sort of go, he's an incredible actor, full stop.
Oh, he is. I mean, I watched Dunkirk. Patrick watched Dunkirk.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was. I told his name, but I didn't have a clue who he was.
Which is Bane again, wasn't it? He didn't know who he was.
Yeah, until the end, it was like, I was like in the cinema. I was like, oh my god, that's Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
She was like, no.
Yeah. Big thing about that though, when he lands that thing on the beach, if he's run out of fuel, that plane wouldn't have gone up as much as it would it?
No, it wouldn't actually.
If it's got no fuel in it, it wouldn't have blown up.
No.
And it's metal, steel.
That's very true. Unless they didn't pour anything on it, did they?
Just got out and set it alight, threw a grenade in, but that wouldn't have blown it up.
No, they would have just exploded into shards of. Yeah.
Come on, what are you playing at?
Christopher Nolan.
I know, mate. Still want to work with you though. Don't worry about that. Still want to work with you.
Sorry, the wind is blown away.
We can put something on that too.
Yeah. So I was going to say, so obviously, actor. What about director?
See, I have a real passion for sort of art house films. So, a couple of my favourite films growing up was Darren Aronofsky. So, you're looking at Pi, you're looking at Requiem for a Dream, Mother of Recent. He sort of showed stuff in a way. His devices he used to show things, like in Requiem for a Dream, the drug taking was never actually seen, but it was these clever, quick, really nice stuff. And it was also subjects that are quite harsh. So my acting, I always like to show a character or a situation or a story where it's not that you'd see every day. It's something that you go, oh, I didn't realise that was like that, or that's an interesting take on that. I understand. It make people just question what they already think. So his was a lot of that. There was Lars von Trier, a big fan of sort of like the Antichrist, Nymphomaniac, those sort of films. But director, to top it all off, it's Gaspar Noé. Completely massive influence on me with Irreversible. Enter the Void is my favourite film ever, and that's very dark. And they're films that I wouldn't say they're there for entertainment. They're an experience. You watch them and you sort of go, the fuck have I just watched? Like, am I real? Is this real? What's going on? Like those kind of directors that want to show something that people will never usually see. Is, for me, that's why I do it, really.
Alright, cool. So that's kind of the genre you love as well, then.
Yeah. Art house, anything arty, anything a bit sort of unhinged, and just things you wouldn't literally think about in your day-to-day life. Because you can stick on the telly and you can watch soaps, you can watch dramas, and they're just sort of toned down versions of life. So. All
right, fair enough. I mean, like, you got Del Toro as well, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
The master of well, he's not really art house anymore because he's mainstream, but
he still does them though. Shape of Water was very again along those lines.
It was definitely. I mean, Pan's Labyrinth was one of the first ones. That was very twisted.
I actually got a tweet off it. I did a series for, which channel was it? I can't remember now, but it was a docudrama sort of thing. So it was about all the serial killers.
Right.
And murder maps. That was what it was. So it was on Netflix in America, and over here it was on Yesterday TV.
Okay.
And he actually tweeted the series saying, "I love this series. It's incredible. Just watch this next episode." He actually sent the tweet through, so I sort of lost my shit for a minute and went, "Oh my god, Del Toro's just
yeah."
Okay, yeah." So little tweet I got there that brightened up my day.
Oh yeah. Matthew Modine liked one of my tweets this morning. I tweeted out because we passed the sad passing of Ali Ermey last night. Obviously, one of my finest. It wasn't. For me, it wasn't one of the finest actors. It was just one of the finest roles that I've ever liked. His Full Metal Jacket. So yeah, I just obviously sent my condone. I did tag him in it, but he liked it. So yeah, that was quite. It's a nice moment when you get someone like that.
No, definitely nice.
Even though I will record it. He snubbed me.
Oh, did he?
When I asked him, I asked him, and people actually said, "Why didn't you come on the show?" It was for Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And he turned around and he did say, everything that he does is on the screen. Yeah. He doesn't have anything else to say because if we don't know who he is from the screen,
you don't know what he is.
You don't know, and it's like, well, that's not really you, though, is it?
True.
So I just left it.
True. There is that thing though with actors where the less you know about them, the more interesting they become.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of the time it comes back with. It's that they're very private. A lot of them are very private.
Yeah.
Like Tom Hardy, I believe, will be very private, and I don't think he likes interviews. I've hardly seen many.
You don't see many. Well, he doesn't get in trouble anymore, and he sort of keeps himself to himself. But then I just get various friends that I'll send work to and say, "What do you think of this?" And they'll just go, "It's you in a film doing something different." People that don't know you as an actor or people in your circle, then they sort of believe the mask that we put over, so it is more interesting. But then if you watch something that you know, the several actors I know, I just go, "Oh, that's a really good performance," but it's still you. I still know you. I still know the real you. So yeah, you just keep keep your friend circle quite close, and then everyone else just thinks you're amazing. So
very true. I mean, that's the thing doing this show that I do as well. Is over 3 years now, but I end up watching things differently. And you're right because by the time after an hour's gone, I don't know you well enough to be best buddies, but
you still know that person.
I still know you, And I watch stuff like I watch Lucifer, I watch Lucifer, whatever. I sit there and I go, good performance. Because I know what you're thinking now. I know how you're planning that scene, and it's great, but it kind of ruins it, especially for my wife who just sits there. I've got to say, shut up,
be quiet. Or muzzle on you and stuff. Talking.
Exactly.
Take it off when we've watched the film.
So no, I mean that's obviously like we're saying, that's great, and it was just as you get to know people, I suppose you have to keep that sort of mystique about you and mysticism, and I think that's all Matthew. He wasn't being nasty. That's what his mentality is, and it's a really good mentality.
It's a good one to keep. Daniel Day-Lewis is a perfect example.
Yeah, he's very.
He buggers off for about 3 years and lives in Ireland with his family, and then Spielberg gives him a call and goes, "We've got a film for you," and he comes out, wins an Oscar, and goes back, and you never see him again. I saw a big spread in Empire magazine once with Spielberg, who I know what he looks like, and there was just a random scruffy-looking man next to him, and I went, "Who the bloody hell's that?" And then I was reading through. Oh, is that Daniel Day-Lewis? That's not Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's exactly what I see every time I see him. He looks obviously aged by the time you see him again. It's like you really can't tell.
Can't tell at all. So which is good. That's a good actor.
It
comes out, does the job. You don't know anything about the guy, and then that's it. Happy days.
Exactly. And then some obviously shy away now, like De Niro and all the the classics and through. But others are then very vocal.
Yeah.
And they never shut up. Which is a good thing, but he says sometimes.
No, definitely.
And it's like Kardashian.
It's the press hunters. They love it. They're famous because they can be in every paper. But
exactly. So if you could go back in these, as you can tell, these are just generic questions. I just threw to you and thought this would be quite.
You're not showing me these either, so these are literally. I've got no idea what I'm going to be asked.
I can see you trying to read them, and it's like,
I'm looking like as if I'm trying to, but it's like when I get my phone out to look at the time, but then I never look at the time. Then I go, I need to look at the time.
I've done that 3 times on the tube.
Yeah, and you don't. I don't know why it doesn't happen. I've not got a watch, so
it's like Peter Kay, isn't it? It goes, what time is it?
Skin past bone.
Yeah, what day is it? Yeah, so going on holiday over there.
Yeah, over there.
Sorry, comic genius. So if you could go back in time, what's one thing that you could tell your younger self? Or the one thing you could, one thing you could maybe change. I don't mean generically, so you can go back and kill Hitler, or
do you know what? History's history. I wouldn't change any of that.
We are what we are because of history. Yeah.
What I would tell myself is listen to your mother when you're younger. My mum gave me a lot of solid, sound advice, and I think it's the same with any sort of parent that gives you any advice as you're growing up that you, as a child or a rebellious child, which I was, would be, I don't need to do that, I'll do it my way. And then you think that, oh, you're telling me I can't have this and you can't do that. If I could go back, I'd say your mum's doing you a solid and telling you, don't do that because of this. And now, I'm 30 years old and I'm going, shit, that's what she told me that for. Like, be good with money, be good with this, put money aside, don't spend money you've not got, not do this. And it's it's not an acting thing, but it's a
generic life advice.
Then I'd probably be a bit further on than I would be now. But again, I'm happy with the way it's gone. But that would be one thing, is just not hate my mum so much when I was growing up. And it wasn't because she was a bad mum at all. She was incredible, but it was more the, don't do this, don't do that. Can I have this? No. I'd go to Dad, and Dad would go, yeah, you can have it. Now, love Dad for that, but hated Mum for that. But now it's like, oh, Dad shouldn't have done that for me. But again, it all works out well in the end, and I'm normal now. Completely.
They're waiting for him outside. Don't worry.
She's going to hear this when it comes out, so yeah, I've told her she can have a listen.
And a watch.
She'll appreciate that. Yeah, I want to watch it.
So that's cool. That's the same. It's like, you're right, because life advice. I mean, it's the same thing I could say as well. I wish I'd listened to my mum. I still listen to her now, but obviously I'm still paying off with the bits that I didn't listen to.
So my mum sat there now going, okay, so you're still paying off, Neil, but in a different way. In actual cash that I'm owing people. So that's another thing. That's another thing.
Excellent. So if you could go back in time, then this is going to see about your genre and your age. You said you're 30. How would you prefer to do it? H.G. Wells style, DeLorean style, or the TARDIS?
Oh. So you're probably going to hate me, but never really a fan of Doctor Who. Never really. Well, I watched a few of them when I was younger. Dad used to have them on. The odd ones, proper ones, I call them, the better ones.
Yeah, the originals.
DeLorean style. I only watched Back to the Future about 3 weeks ago. All three of them. Yeah, I know. Again, all these. I like to leave things till the hype's completely gone. I know. I watch them. I think they're brilliant now, but I don't. Game of Thrones came out and everyone's like, oh, it's amazing. I was like, no, it's fine. I'm not gonna. And I watch it after the hype's gone, so I can just look at it in a, let's pick it as an actor and go, cool, that's fine, that's good. It is really good. It's all of them are like. H.G. Wells,
bit old.
Yeah, that's a bit before my time still, and I'm still watching. I'm aware of all the stuff, but I'll probably do it DeLorean style.
Yeah, quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool, no worries. Yeah, you're right about like Game of Thrones. I did the same.
Don't watch it until it's.
No, I mean I tried to watch it 4 times though, and I couldn't get past episode 4. First season. It was
slow going.
Everyone else was there going, oh my, like you say, raving on, and I think it was by the time season 3 came along or season 4, and I was just getting sick because everyone was having a go at me and saying that I'm really thick, I'm really stupid if I don't like Game of Thrones. It's like I can't get past season 4. It's dull.
It is. It's the same with everything. There's a few ones like. What's the one before that? There was also big sort of things like Heroes and Lost and all that. I never really got into them because they're just so. But then the more you invest in the characters, and therefore you get sort of hooked, and then you're there waiting. But I couldn't do waiting a week to see the next episode. I'll have to watch it all until I know there's nothing left.
That's what I had to do with Game of Thrones. I binge watched it. I think I was off work at the time for about 5 or 6 weeks, so I binge watched all 6 seasons at the time, and it was just like by the end of 6 seasons I was dripping with blood, waiting. Give me more.
Bring it more. I need another one now. It's the same with True Detective, one of my favourite series ever. I watched them all once they've been out and all on Netflix, and you can just watch them all through. So. You can just get you can take the whole thing on an experience, and you probably do it over 2 days. But I'll do like 7 hours and then 7 hours on a day that I'm not doing anything, and then you get the full effect rather than waiting at what happened last week. And I can't do
exactly.
All that.
You need to watch stuff in, So I'll try and do that all the time with sleeper series, like Lost in Space on Netflix at the moment. I'm trying to do that, and Requiem as well, which is just I'm trying to binge watch. Someone told me now we've got the bells going. Told you it's a Swiss clock.
That's brilliant.
It's great. So,
atmosphere.
So obviously you do have to binge watch stuff like that. So it's a great thing. And, So that was take us back to that question. So the next thing is, what's the most exciting thing that you have filmed?
What's the most exciting thing I've ever filmed? See, I've done quite a lot. I've done quite a lot in the fact that there's not a lot out there. So I've done a lot of music videos. I've done a lot of short films. And then I've only just sort of recently, the last couple of years, done the features, which is it's taken me 15 years to do. So I've been working away in the background, but
that'll go on for.
That's fucking annoying, isn't it? The most exciting thing, it's just for sheer man factor. I did 24 Little Hours with Paul Knight, and it was just guns and girls and action and fighting, and it was that was exciting just because it was all done really quickly. It was done in 8 days, but I had a gun in my hand a couple of times. I'm putting funny faces. I've got silver teeth in it. That was just exciting because it was a high octane kind of thing and fight scenes and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, again, it's something you've mentioned in the last couple of podcast things, especially with Patrick. The code was. I only had one nice, tasty scene in that, but it's just really. I'm not divulging anything, Patrick. Do not worry. But I have one.
Just wait till he's finished that drink, and then I'll get it.
Yeah, you'll get it after the camera's off. Maybe not. But yeah, I did just one really interesting scene, which is a completely different character to what I've ever done. And when Patrick sort of asked me for a self-tape for it, I was sort of like, shall I do this? Shall I come in with this and have a go at that? Is that really my kind of character? And I did, and Patrick sort of went, I love it, it's brilliant, yeah, we'll go with that. And that was just exciting. It was all period dress, and it was just completely not what I've ever done. I'm usually unhinged and angry and moody, but this was unhinged and moody in a different way. But that was, those sort of two things were really, really exciting.
Fantastic.
Definitely.
24 little hours, I mean, I was going to mention that, might as well mention it later. That looks great. Because I mean, I know Paul Knight from Landscape of Lies. Which I went to the premiere of, and that was brilliant. Danny Midwinter was there, and he's such a nice guy.
He's a lovely guy,
really guy. Plays a hard as nails bastard on screen. He's fantastic.
He's
and
great.
He really is. Again, the versatile one. He's very, very good. You can, you know, you meet him in real life, and when you get to know
totally
him,
different.
Totally different to the characters he plays, which is just a test like yourself. I've not seen yours yet, so I'm sure he goes.
No, it's that thing as an actor. It's like I've always said that. People always go, like my sister and my mum and everyone would go, why don't you do something nice and funny? I used to do a lot of comedy when I was sort of growing up with the theatre. Did a lot of comedy, used to do loads of little sketch shows. Like Monty Python was a massive influence for me. Monty Python, Space, things like that. Just little funny things that we used to do. And me and my friend Richard Jackson, he's going to love that mention if he's back. So I've not seen him for about 20 years. We used to do sketches and like perform them in assemblies at school, and but we'd like mention teachers or add in impersonations of teachers without mentioning that it is a teacher. But classes would be in uproar and it'd be hilarious. But then I moved away from that because comedy's such a stressful thing. It's too much pressure for me. Being angry and upset and moody is a lot. I find it easier to do than the pressure of being funny. So yeah.
Monty Python. No, you just
Monty Python.
You're on my top level now because I was raised on Monty Python and Blackadder. And when I was in the, I did officer training corps at uni. And the thing that kept us going was we used to like front march through the Yorkshire Dales and what have you. Big kit pack on, and all you could hear at 3 o'clock in the mornings we're doing it is sit on my face and tell me that you love me. And it coming around and. We did, you know, obviously all sketches like that, and the Blackadder sketches and stuff, just amazing. And they did a sods opera because I used to love doing stuff like that. And you know, when I did loads of acting when I was a kid, when I was a teen and stuff. Tried to carry it on. But yeah, the sods opera was great because we had ponchos and we did a barbershop quartet, so we had nothing on. This was within the Royal Navy Reserves, so nothing on underneath, just at the front. We all sidled on, sang the chorus of "Sit on My Face" in front of the entire, all the officers and everything were there. And then we just swiveled round, and it was just all four bare asses as we just sidled off again.
Brilliant.
And that photo was on there for about 5 years, was on the notice board afterwards. Long after I'd gone, they still kept it up there.
that's what you got to do with stuff like that. And when I was a kid, that was what it was. Drama was, I picked drama because the woodwork exam the woodwork I was taking for GCSE was, they had a 3-hour exam. And I hate writing or doing any kind of that stuff, so I sat that off. My mate came out and went, we can go do drama, it's like, you can swear in class, we can do anything. The teacher doesn't really give a shit. And I'm like, well, that sounds more like me. It's easy, you'll probably all come out with like a C. Right, I'll have that. So we literally did that. But then, as I've got later on in life, it's like, that's too much stress for me to do funny. And my sister still goes, why don't you do something nice where you're not getting killed or beaten up, or you're not beating someone up, or you're not, let's have some funny comedy in there. And I'm like, it doesn't interest me to show people that. It's the harsher side, so
Fair enough.
So doing, like you said, we mentioned with Danny Midwinter, it's like he's different to what he is because people meet me in life and go, he's actually a really nice guy. I did one short film and I was playing such a horrible character in it that I was at the bar after the screening and someone just came up and just went, can I ask you a question? And I went, yeah, go for it. She went, are you that much of a in real life? And I went, no, not at all. No, I don't think so. Anyway, would you like a drink? Blah, blah, blah. And that's what I like, is that if people know that I'm something different in films and meet me in real life, it's nice to be like that.
Yeah.
It's nice to be humble, it's nice to do your bit and then play something interesting that people will remember. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what got me back into my acting bug as well, because I did wrestling about 4 or 5 years ago. I started up again. Pro wrestling, American wrestling. And I was fitter than I was. This is what I mean, I got an injury and then I started piled on weight. I ripped a quad muscle.
Oh, wow.
There's a dent there now. 3.5 years old now.
Yeah.
And it's still got a dent. But I ended up piling weight on afterwards. But I could flip in the middle of the ring. I jumped the top rope in one. It was brilliant. But what I loved was the persona and the character, because they gave me the character. Because I used to dance. I think it was Uptown Funk was on.
Oh, right.
And that was a big song at the time. So I just like in training, and I'd be like dancing, just doing that. And I got told that was the campest person they've ever seen. So they nicknamed me the Fabulous Flash. I had, I'll show you a picture after. I had like white and blue zebra tights and stuff. That's what I came out as. But they said I was to be camp, so I went out and I really I mean, I did a training session. They all called me king of the promos because I mean I was 38 when I started. Most of the kids were 16, 17, and they were petrified of going up and speaking. Yeah. But there was me. They gave you 30 seconds. Go on, do a different character, and I'd go up and I'd smash it.
Yeah.
Not being boastful, but I did. And they would love it. And I did one as my character. They said, well, they gave us a week to rehearse. They said, right, pick someone, one of the main roster. Come out the next week, and you've got to do it. And I was in the ring, and the kids there, and that's the only reason I got told off. But you could see all the videos on YouTube, some of them crying with laughter because I was just like, Troy, baby. You've been dissing me, Troy. I don't like it. Yeah. I'm going to get you in the ring, baby. I'm going to smash you in the ring. And it was obviously very camp, very obviously.
Innuendo-ish.
Innuendo, Phil. If you like Monty Python, so yeah. But I carried on like that. And that's how my character developed. And I wasn't being disrespectful at all. It was, in that respect, because I'm not. That's I'm just going to pass that out. No whatsoever. It was all done. But in the end, I actually had pro wrestlers who'd been seasoned wrestlers. I mean, Keith Wyatt used to wrestle on World of Sport Wrestling.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they actually questioned me. After seeing my performance,
that's cool.
They would question. And I was like, yeah, my wife and my child are just there. I was like, I'm obviously not gay. I've got no issues against it, but that's not who, that's just my character. And they're like, really? They go, you pulled that off so well.
Yeah, there you go.
So I was like, there you go. See?
Good acting.
So I thought, that's it. This is what I need to get back into.
Camp wrestling.
Yeah.
It's a thing now. It's probably a big thing now.
It is actually.
We are near Soho, so yeah, we can go pitch it.
Yeah, I am not wearing a gimp suit. I've seen them for sale down there.
Some people pay a lot of money for that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, not me.
No, not me either. Read it somewhere on Wikipedia.
Yeah. So, what's the scariest thing that's happened to you on set?
Jesus, scariest thing. I did a film called Howls Heard from Miles Around. I sent you the link to that. I don't know if you got time to watch it or whenever you do.
Not yet, I will tonight.
It's it was director Tin Zanich, incredible director. He's quite arty with his stuff. I loved the script when I was sent it. Yeah. It was cast by Sharon Sorrentino, who's my favourite casting director in the world. She is. She. This is probably the reason I'm sat here doing stuff like that, is because she's given me. She gave me the opportunity for that film. It was shot by Adam Barnett, who's an incredible DOP. Really moody shots, really interesting lighting, shot on anamorphic. And there's a scene where my older brother in it, I've sort of led him to a place of our childhood that we're quite familiar with. Yeah. I'm a drug addict, alcoholic sort of fellow who's in recovery, sort of, well, we think he is in the film. And there's a scene where he drags me from a bed, takes me into the bathroom, and in the shower, holds a shower over my face. And me being me, there's a stunt guy there going, you can wear this thing on your back so you can line over the thing, and he's holding it on your face. And I was like, I don't want any of that, don't give me any of that shit. I just don't want to feel like he's actually doing this for real, but he's, whatever, as long as we know that there's like a, I don't know, if I grab the back of his knee, then or something like that, that he'll know that that's too much. But yeah, so there was about 5 or 6 takes of him literally with the power shower on full blast on my face. And that was quite a scary moment then, because I was trusting in him, and it was a bit scary, because I was like, I put all that trust in him, and it just takes one thing to go wrong. But,
yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, it was great, and the scene looks great. So the scene looks great, and it was, but there was a real moment of shit your pants.
Water in your face, not very good.
So that's about the scariest I've done.
Alright, cool. I did a film 2 years ago, my first and only film so far. Paul, I'm begging you, Patrick.
There's parts for you there, don't worry.
There's it's actually a good indie film filmed up where I was at home, and the character I was in, it was dubious, but at the end I spent a couple of hours on the concrete floor.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was I had to do, obviously bound up, and I was just like, I wanted to be in character, so I was squirming around, and I was doing it so much, so like, you don't have to do that real, smash my head on the concrete floor.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, I'm in character. I was like, this is great. I was loving it. I was just like, you know, this is perfect.
Yeah.
In fact, I was about to get my balls dropped off with acid.
Oh, your balls dropped off with acid. I did a film called Hound, which is another indie film, which the guys did on absolutely zero budget. Simba, incredible director and incredible actor as well.
Yeah.
I did a small part in a film for him, which he asked me to do once I think he'd seen my show reel through a friend and went, I want you to come in and play this part, would you do it for me? Love your work. So I went in, and there was a scene where there's a big party going on in a kitchen, and everyone's sort of doing drugs everywhere, and I'm walking around with my shirt off and a big beard at the time, and like just completely off my head kind of thing. Yeah. And this guy comes in who's on the revenge path for his dog who's been killed by all these people. A bit John Wickish, but it was written before John Wick, trust me. Yeah, I obviously pull out a gun on this guy, and he ends up beating me up. Then I wake up in the kitchen with no one there, with my balls hanging outside of my
lovely.
the side of my boxer shorts, and I end up getting a pair of straighteners to the balls. So yeah, that's great writing there, Simba. Yeah, it was really that was an interesting bit to play.
As I squirm, and I just spilled beer down my shirt.
Oh no!
Yeah, so look at that content. Look at that.
Get the hairdryer out. Where's makeup? Makeup. Lovely. We're back with fresh drinks.
Yeah, continuity. Cheers. That's still my first one. I've still got the second one there.
Oh, there you go. Come on.
I'm slow.
Catch up.
Someone told me that last week at work I went out and
double popped.
Yeah. Someone told me, they said, because God, you can half make a pint last.
Oh God.
I was like, I can when I'm in London.
Yeah, you have to when it's It's not too bad in here though.
It's not that bad.
It's good. For Leicester Square anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was actually a friend of an actress who informed me about this place. Said it'd be a great place. I was looking for somewhere to meet so we could do face-to-face interviews. Yeah. And they mentioned that, you know, obviously this place here, I'm not going to say it because everyone will come now. So yeah, this is my location. Yeah. But no, that's, people can see it's right on Leicester Square. It's quiet and it's not.
Yeah, it's ideal.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It was sunny. It's now not.
I know. Yeah, it's going to be chilly. But yeah, it's nice to say. Nice, reasonable prices.
Yeah, it's good. It's
not bad. For central London.
£3.50 for a medium wine. Lovely. Or £10 for a bottle.
Yeah, not bad at all.
The bottle's under here, by the way.
Yeah. It's already half drunk.
It's non-alcoholic wine as well. I don't drink. Said no one ever. Who's the actor? Yeah.
This is just water. Excellent. So yeah, moving on. Yeah. We've covered your favourite genre. So obviously, I'm talking about your resume, which you've just peaked when I wasn't here.
Yeah. I had a little peek.
Yeah. I mean, Pegasus Bridge is another one of your credits. Now, that's something which is in post-production at the moment. I've spoken to Lance and I've spoken to Jake Francis, who's in it, and obviously Mark Zammit. Yeah. So how was your experience working with those guys and working with that film? Because, I mean, that's a kind of similar to it's a wartime.
Yeah, it is all about the Pegasus Bridge. And basically it's a story about the guys that actually stormed the bridge. So it's the backstories, the stories at the time, and interesting characters. It's a huge cast. It's a massive cast. And again, shout out to Sharon Sorrentino. Again, I can't thank her enough for I wouldn't be sat here now. I wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing now if it wasn't for her, for giving me an opportunity and being a believer in my ability, which is something I struggled with when I was younger, of belief in myself. So when you've got other people that you've just literally met through doing an audition that has that belief in you, and it spurs you on. But Pegasus Bridge, I mean, we only shot a few things. There's still a lot more to be shot. It's the things I've done. I'm obviously playing Stan Watson, who unfortunately he isn't with us anymore. He was one of the last survivors of it that was the named cast, so I got to meet him down on the coast in Southend, or near Southend, and spoke with him and his wife, and it was a really moving time to go and to sort of speak to him, because I don't know how old he was. I think he was about 90 odd, but he's so coherent. Took a little coaxing to get certain things out of him, and he wouldn't speak about certain things, and there were certain things that he would just tell you everything about, and it was fascinating. But yeah, to be playing someone that up until earlier on or late last year passed away, it was something I'd never done really before. And Lance is again, he's an incredible director and writer, and yeah, he obviously gave me an opportunity, and people like Jake Francis, who again he's an incredible actor, and he's totally different style to how I work, and a different kind of actor, but just a constant inspiration in my life. And there's a few people that I hang around with actor-wise that I hang about with, and I sort of speak with, and support what they do, and they support what I do. And it's Jake. My other friend Joe Riley is another incredible actor. But yeah, Jake Francis, yeah, his role in that is incredible. I've not didn't get to work with him just yet. There's more filming to be done, but it's all quite secretive and stuff. It is. It's a big project, and it is
actually. From when I spoke to them, I could tell how much. It's
burrowing along in the background, and it's going to be something very special once it does come through and everything happens. It's just with like any kind of film, any kind of indie sort of film, or even low budget or medium micro budget film in the UK, it's so hard to find funding and to find people. When there's a story sat there that's better than half of the shit that gets put out in the world, and there is a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit out there, and it's probably the wrong word to call it shit, but it's just a lot of nonsense that's just money makers. And with a project like Pegasus Bridge, it's a passion project, and it's an incredible story that a lot of people haven't seen the side of the British side for it. There's loads of films about it, but Lance wants to keep it completely true to what it is, and you don't get that with Hollywood, and they need to tick boxes, they need to put bums on seats, and we all aspire to get there because we all hate struggling, but yeah, the people that are struggling to do something good don't usually get looked over. But with Pegasus, when that comes through, and it will be coming through, it's going to be something special, because there's huge support around the UK and worldwide, even supporting that film. And it is a privilege to be involved in it. And again, there's not much more I can tell you on it, really. I've been told I can't say certain things, but it's interesting what's going to be happening with that, and it's something I look forward to. But
it looks like, I mean, when I think it was. Sorry, did you say your casting director, Sandra?
Sharon. That's the one. Sharon Sorrentino,
yeah, she was actually on the interview as well. So it was her. I think they just done a hard day doing something. It's like Lance, her, and Jake were all at the same time. So I got to speak to all of those, and they were great guys. And like you say, because it's a real story as well. I mean, and of an era that sadly, obviously, everyone's passing away. The people who survived it. I wish I used to be really into it. I used to do reenacting for World War II, and I wish that my granddad's still been alive, because apparently I found out, and I researched him, and he was in something called Phantom Corps. And his platoon commander was David Niven. And they used to go behind enemy lines, do all the communications. Now I've got a friend who's ex-regiment, and he turned around and as I mentioned Phantom, and he's like, oh yeah, we know them. And there's obviously part of them used to go around and do all the the assassinations and stuff like that. But definitely my granddad he was more the communication side. But that's what everyone in the family believed. I was trying to believe that he was, because he was an English teacher. He went back he came from the war, back to English teaching for the rest of his life. But he came home, I think, and my dad remembered him once saying that he mentioned it once. He said, I'll only mention what happened once, and he spilt it all out to my gran. And then he never spoke about it again. But he said he was the things he saw, like children, women, nuns slaughtered in streets, and he's done a lot with Belgian resistance, so he's a lot out there. And he was one of the last ones when I watched Dunkirk. I was thinking he was one of the last 20 or 30 off the beach,
off the shores, because
he was setting news like blowing everything up. And it was like when I watched Dunkirk, because you hear about it, don't you? I mean, people of our generation, you see it on the films, but I think films lately, like. Well, it's Hollywoodized as they are. Saving Private Ryan, Band of Brothers, obviously Pegasus Bridge when it comes out. Those types of things really sort of the
grittiness of it. It's not even. It's just there's. I always have these things with films that sort of show things like, for instance, like rape scenes. You'll see rape scenes in films, and what they do is. It's not glorifying it, but they show a 30-second snippet of it, and then you go, "Oh, that's bad." She got raped there, or he got raped, or whichever, and that's that's terrible. And you just you feel bad anyway. But then there's films like the Irreversible film where it shows a 7.5-minute rape scene. And when you go, why do you need to show that? It's like, because the people that go through it don't go through 30 seconds of glorified Hollywood. They go through something terrible. So that's the same thing with the war films. You don't show it as it is, because the people that were there were like, I don't want to relive that again. That's why they don't speak about it, and fair play to them for not speaking about it. But it's a big deal. Like we're not talking about you've had a little fight in the street, or you've robbed a shop for couple of Mars bars.
Yeah.
It's real. It's people's lives. It's people's lives that you don't know that you're killing for no reason. And it's a bit of a taboo subject. And even speaking to Stan Watson when he was talking about it, you could tell the passion behind. He was fighting for his country, but then you could also see the sad side of that was killing people here, and we killed a lot of people, and as a country we did kill a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
And we all sort of we glorify it and go, oh, we're Britain, and we won this war, but then we won this war by killing millions of people. Now we went in and did that purposely because someone else was killing millions of people. So where does it end? But again, it's a hard story to tell, and Lance literally wants to put it out there as it was. None of this glorified nonsense, gritty, real actors that come in and want to do a justice to the people that we're playing, because they are real people.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's the other good thing. They are named.
And obviously, since I met Stan early last year, his family were contacting me on Facebook and saying, we're so pleased that you're playing our grandfather, our great-grandfather, our father. Do you know what I mean? There's people, I've never had that before, and to have people say, we're following what you do, and then we can't wait for this, and do you know any news on this? And that's a real nice thing. Like that's something you don't get when you start as an actor. That's something that comes along, and it's to have people whose actual life affected someone to write a play or a film or a TV series. That's a choker. That is it's really like it's a privilege, and you have to do that person justice. So when I met Stan, he's like, I think he was about 5'3", and he was such a skinny young fellow, and at the time I was quite bulked up. And I was about 6'2", and sat there. There's a picture of me next to him. But again, it's me trying to do. He loved running, and he was like a marathon runner. He used to love his running. So prior to doing that, I'll obviously have to do a bit of marathon running and slim down and be an actual. Do you know what I mean? Give him justice, not be this tanked up sort of British Army soldier. It's going to be true to what he does. And that's going to be incorporated into the films and certain scenes. It's only a small role for me, but I'm in it a bit, but I don't say much. But it's the main characters that storm the bridge. I've got bits with that and certain dialogues with people like Jake and everybody like that. But then it's pivotal. It's more the action sequence that I'm quite pivotal for, because he was one of the first people over, and that's what it's going to be made in with my scenes in that. But everyone else involved in that film is going to be incredible. The cast attached. Lance has done an incredible job. He's literally put his life and soul into it, and it will come to fruition, and everyone will see how good that's going to be, and that's something I do look forward to doing.
Brilliant. Fantastic. I mean, I've got ideas as well, because I say when I do reenacting, I went into Vietnam reenacting. Because I started when I reached out, and I've actually got a lifelong membership of the Camp Toccoa Historical Society, because I reached out and became friends with someone when I was out getting information, because we did 101st Airborne, and then I met 101st Airborne from Vietnam. And I got really intrigued, and I was like, you guys, I don't know anything about you. And I spoke to them, and I found out this group called LERPs and Rangers, and I've actually got. I keep thinking I want to make a film myself about these. Because I used to, when I did the reenacting, I reached out to them, and I'm friends with them still. And I reached out, and within an hour, I had like 9 emails. I sent one email, and I had 9 emails back within an hour or 2 hours from all these veterans who he passed the information on, saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe anyone would want to represent this." And we just got spat on when we got back. No one wanted to know who we were and what we did. So we used to teach living history around, and I got sent patches that they took off their Class A uniforms, which are really precious to them. I mean, you know, valued and stuff. It's looking at like a couple of £100 for per badge. Things I've got the handbook someone took around as a staff sergeant when he was actually in the field, with his handwritten notes in it. And they've just gifting so much, and I mean, you know, they're out there now. They've written books on it, and there's some. I keep thinking in the back of my mind, should I approach what? I mean, I've got a lifelong invite to their reunion as well, which is awesome. And it's like if I can ever get there, it's in Missouri. It's like hell of a, it's expensive.
It's worth the trip.
Oh yeah,
it's worth the trip.
But they're all, you know, and I mean, I got a print signed by them, and it was just I found a print online. It was a Huey with them dropping down. And Gary Linder, who's one of them, he took it to the reunion. And I didn't see it for like 4 years. I thought they'd forgotten, but then all of a sudden, in the mail, I got the print back signed by all the veterans who went. One of them was a Medal of Honor winner. A couple of them have already passed away since then from the results, and it was just amazing. But the World War II side, there's a guy in church in Prestatyn who's he's 90 odd, and bless him, he comes on Remembrance Day with all his medals. And last Remembrance Day, I sat there and I looked. I was like, that's the Croix de Guerre. It's obviously the French highest ranking. He'd just been awarded it and all the survivors for what they did liberating a village.
Yeah.
And he was just the most unassuming little old man. Pegasus Bridge, can't wait for it to come out.
Yeah,
It looks brilliant.
incredible.
And Lance, like you say, Lance is a great guy. I met him in person at Landscape Allies as well.
Yep. I was there as well. You didn't see me.
I didn't. Were you there?
I was there. I didn't go to the. There wasn't enough tickets, so I turned up just to. I needed to speak to Paul on that night because it was pre-24. So
right.
I just wanted to pop down and show support, but I couldn't get a ticket. But then I was told that there was loads of space in there, so I was like, well, I could have come in, but
yeah, there was in the end. A lot of people didn't come.
Yeah,
sadly.
people could make it certain things, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I was there. I was at the back. I was there. I was chatting away.
Yeah, because that was Mark was. I mean, Mark Zammit I've met a few times. He's a top bloke. He really is.
Yeah, he's a good lad. He's a good lad, Matt Zammit.
Yeah.
Worked with him on Invasion actually as well. Got to elbow him in the face. I'm smashing up what I think is. Oh, I can't say this. Oh,
it's the wine.
Anthony D. Lane again, an absolute wow. The reason that the film industry should be how it is because of people like Anthony, who's 10 years going this film, and the struggles that man's gone through to bring this to life, to make it happen from 10 years ago, from losing cast members through death, through having 2 children, having a wife, getting married, doing everything that you should do as a person in the world, and he's still there doing it. He's in editing stages now, and I think there's a few more scenes to film. Well, probably about 1 or 2 more now, and then that's going to be a good one. I was privileged enough to see about the first 20-30 minutes of that the other week, and that's going to be something very, very special.
Brilliant. Can't wait for that one as well.
The struggles that fellow has gone through. If you want an interview, you speak to Anthony D. Lane, because wow, that's a filmmaker and a half. It really is.
Cool.
Speak so highly of that guy.
Excellent.
So highly.
Anthony, if you're going to watch this, you can come on my show, please. I'm quite happy. More than happy.
Definitely.
Excellent. So I mean, you obviously got a lot more films coming out as well. You know, you look at your IMDb, it's like everything coming out. Yeah,
it's doing good.
I mean, you got obviously mentioned Invasion of the Not Quite Dead before, which obviously I'm gathering is a zombie type.
The way Anthony put it.
Well, actually, not quite dead, because they're not really zombies, are they?
But that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, I'm plugging this big for you here, Anthony. Like this. Anthony wanted to make a film that if you took out all the not quite dead / zombie things, that it would stand alone as a drama.
Right.
With just the day-to-day life dramas that people go through and experience. But then with the added not quite deads into there, with a situation that is a typical zombie kind of good old-fashioned zombie, like all the special effects. There's no video effects. It's one thing that there is no video effects. All the fog and the mist is done by a guy called Danny Allen, who's created these homemade. Don't know if it's legal, Danny. I don't know. You got to let me know here. But he's created these like double fog machines that go into a big fog thing that blow it all out, and they literally fill like forests and country lanes full of fog. There's a video online of Anthony sat in the back of a car filming guerrilla style with a fog machine throwing out mist, so if they're driving through mist. It's all done on passion, minimal sleep, and just creativity. It is something. It really is something to watch. And when it does come, it basically came out with this idea that he was one of the first people to crowdfund.
Oh, right.
And it was through Twitter, before Indiegogo, before all those other sort of websites that you could fund your film. And he did it all through Twitter, with like Twitter marathons. So being online for 72 hours, him. Literally, them kind of marathons, finding money, and people all around the world, America, UK, Europe, all the big sort of genuine horror fans had put in money to this and got it going. And I say he came across so many obstacles that it's a bit like the Legend of Don Quixote, that film that never got made, but the documentary got made. It's literally like this, but the film is there, it just needs editing together. And he's a one-man band doing it all himself. And that will be something special that, if anything, will be a massive cult hit. Massive.
Brilliant. It's another one to look out for.
Yeah, that is a definite big one to look forward to.
Cool. And then another one that you got coming out is Two Graves, which is a huge one. That's from the makers of Harry Brown, isn't it? So, I mean, it's Josh Herdman stars in that, who's everyone should.
Very good friend of mine.
Is he?
Yeah, very good friend of mine.
Love to get him on. He's in there. I'm actually going to the Harry Potter convention in June, and he's coming to that.
Well, mention my name. He'll be more than happy to sign some stuff for you and do whatever.
Get him on my show.
I mean, Josh, we had no scenes together on that, but we're all staying in the same hotel. And he's my age, and we just we hit it off, really good friends. And from coming from something like Harry Potter, which I hadn't really watched much of, I wasn't really a massive fan, and he knows this, so you know that, Josh. It's probably better in the long run because it's just a guy called Josh that I met, and I'm not starstruck. I met what's his name, Alan Rickman, once in a bar, and I had a little go at him because he stole my drink. You know when you go out, come out at matinee at the interval time, and your drinks are all there with your name underneath. I was looking around for my drink, and there was this big tall fella at the bar, and I was like, went to put my hand round to grab my drink, and then this arm just came round and took my drink, and I went, oh, excuse me, sorry, I think that's my drink there. And he went, oh, terribly sorry. I'll get you another one. I was like, nah, don't worry about it, mate, it's fine, you've not got anything, have you? And to someone I didn't know, didn't have a clue who he was. And then it was when I was doing National Youth Theatre, and I came outside, there was all these people in my class at the time that were like, oh my God, how do you know him? And I'm like, who? What, the guy that just stole my drink? Like, God rest him, he's like, he's not with us anymore. Again, a pivotal part of English actors and English culture. And I went, I don't know who the hell he was. He tried to nick my drink. He offered to buy me another one, but I was like, oh, don't worry about it. He's like, do you know who that is? I was like, no, not at all. Who is he? Yeah, he's from Die Hard. And I went, that's not Bruce Willis. They went, no, Alan Rickman. I was like, no, don't know who he is. Don't care. No. I'm not starstruck in any way because I see the struggle that people have as actors and getting tarnished all the time and getting harassed all the time, and it's only because people want to meet their idols. I get that, but I was just like, no, I don't know who he is. They're like, he's had a big minute, he did this, and he was in Robin Hood, and he was. I was like, no, still don't know, still don't know.
See, I can't laugh at that because when I was in uni, I stopped in. Used to go to Mid Wales. And my car broke down, and the farmer took me to the local garage, and as a guy came in, and he was like, he just had greasy hair down to here. Just looked like, and I walked past him and he said a few words to me. He's like, hey, how you doing? I was like, fine. I said, my car's broken down. He goes, oh man, typical, right in the middle of nowhere. So I said, yeah, and he carried on walking. And I got to the garage and the guy was like, you know who that was, don't you? And I said, no, why? Robert Plant.
Oh.
Lead singer of Led Zeppelin.
There you go.
And I was like, seriously? My mate, who was a huge, my mate, who was a serious rock fan, was stuck in the car waiting. And when I told him, he was just apparently white with envy. He was like, seriously, you didn't know who he was? I was like, I ain't got. He's just like a greasy biker. That's
good old days. Greasy bikers where they were just pioneers of rock, metal, and everything. Really, just a pioneer of all of that.
You're starstruck. I mean, a lot of people I know get starstruck, and I mean, I do to a certain extent. Because I mean, doing what I do, there's still every now and then. Like I'll sit there and on a show, and it's just like the more I'm doing it, the less I do, the less starstruck I get. Because the more. I mean, in a nice way, it's the more I'm accepted into the circle, the circle of the industry. So it's like I'm now a kind of a part of it, which is great.
These people again, whether you're Hollywood or the Hollywood actors that take it seriously, they're just normal people. Do you know what I mean? They're just, we are all just normal people trying to make a living. And the only problem is that when you're at sort of my kind of level, other levels, you're just struggling to do it. So you're probably more humble than you are when you get there, and then when you get there, you're just sick of it because you probably get it more often. But then it is. We just do a job at the end of the day, and we get paid for it. But it's unfortunately it is in the public eye, and
exactly that's the difference.
If I could be on set every day, I'd love it. It'd just be like a normal 9 to 5. But the reason I do it is because it's different every day. Every day is completely different, and I couldn't do an office job. It would send me mental and absolutely crazy. But
that's why I do 9 to 5.
But yeah, coming back with the 2 graves, it's sorry, back to the plot.
My fault rambling.
So yeah, Josh. Obviously, I had no scenes with him. People that would see the film, but I recently seen bits and bobs of the footage and seen bits of it, and he's his performance to watch out for in that film. I really do. I mean, the cast is incredible. Like I still think it was a dream when I got called up and I got given the part, even audition. That's how that's how fucking good I am. No, it was again Sharon Sorrentino. She cast the Howls Heard for Miles Around. She brought me in for that originally, and then the DOP of that, Adam Barnett, was brought in on 2 graves, and they cast everything else. They had everyone there. Gary Young, obviously the writer of Harry Brown, which is again a pivotal bit of British cinema. Michael Caine, obviously, Jack O'Connell. I'm from the same area. Derby, we're all from the same area from there, and they were looking to cast everything else. So they've got a person from each decade of British cinema. So Kathy Tyson from Mona Lisa, Bob Hoskins. So they had her. Then they had Katie Jarvis from Fish Tank, again incredible actress, like really good. Again, another humble actress. Literally, she'd done Fish Tank, so that was the second era of that, and then they had Dave Johns from I, Daniel Blake.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So those three, they wanted one from each decade of like really good, like gritty English cinema. And then obviously everything else is padded out with some real incredible people. David Heyman from Taboo.
All right, yeah.
So he played Tom Hardy's servant in Taboo. Like incredible guy, like and, such a good guy to work with as well. He plays my dad in the film.
Right.
So I've got some really nice scenes with him, and yeah, everyone else. Danielle Harold from EastEnders. Oh, what a great little actress.
Yeah.
Like she done like Lola Pierce. She played in EastEnders, and from seeing her do that to then seeing her work on this again, didn't have hardly any scenes with her. I had one little scene with her. But seeing the stuff that she's done and how she conducts herself on set, same with Josh and Kedar, another guy, Kedar William Sterling. They're all just a lovely bunch of people that we just sort of spent like 2.5 weeks with and all just got on, but we all just put the graft in. Yeah. But I got a call literally from my mate Adam, who's the DOP of Howls, and he literally says, how you doing, Neil? You alright? I'm like, yeah, I just woken up. I was at my girlfriend's house at the time. Yeah, I'm alright. He said, are you available to speak to a director in a minute? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in Kent at the minute, so the reception's really terrible. But yeah, give us I'll call back off a house number if that's all right. Yeah, cool. Give us a call back. They want to speak to you about potentially a part in this film. So I rang back this number in like half an hour. I spoke to Gary Young, and then he was like, it's a lovely Geordie accent. He's like, oh, I've come across your stuff through our DOP Adam, and we've seen your show reel and seen the film that he's shot before, and we think you're really good and you'd be really great for the part. Would you be interested? I'll send the script over, and can you call me back as soon as possible because you're the last person we need to cast. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, this is, I'll send you through details of who's in it, and I checked it all out, and literally was going, oh bloody hell, there's, there's that person. Oh my god, oh really? And then I looked through the script, and then it's a big part. It's if you looked at it in however you want to look at it, it's I'm technically the lead male. Right. Okay. So the two leads are Kathy Tyson, Katie Jarvis, but the storyline is that they capture and kidnap a guy believed to have killed Kathy Tyson's son. Right. Okay. So I'm like, oh, this is quite a bit. I'm sure they got the right person. They rang the right guy. I mean, I've not done anything like this until this, and then literally walking onto that set. So they went, yeah, we want you to have the part. That's it. Walked on, and yeah, never been so humbled in my life. Just like, oh yeah, thank you very much for having me. Like, they're like, no, thank you for coming in and doing this. Like, stop saying thank us. Thank you. Like, you're worthy of doing it. That's why we brought you in. We wouldn't have brought you in if you weren't. And I was like, oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Oh. But yeah, all of that stellar cast, director, producer, Chantel, she's absolutely incredible as well. She runs Ida Rose, which is a production company in London, and specialises and sort of pushes the women in film, female-led stuff. And she's again, an incredible person, and everyone behind that film, every department behind sound, design, set design, the runners on there were incredible as well. Everyone, it's just a really nice film to be on. Excellent, excellent. Sounds really good, and it's like I say, I think it'd probably be a hit as well, because you know that's going to be huge. Yeah. It's premiering on the 9th of June at the Curzon, Soho. Yeah. We've just been booted up to the biggest cinema in there, been its biggest cinema screen, and yeah, it's already got worldwide distribution sorted anyway on it, so it's going to be good. It's a step up in my career, man. Definitely. Brilliant, brilliant. Well, if they need a Q&A host, yeah, I don't know what's happening with that. Premiering at Buff Film Festival, so. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, so it's the closing film for that. So which, I don't know what they do with that. They've got their own little bits and bobs. I know, yeah. I'm kidding. So we'll get you down there. We'll do our own in the corner like this again. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be good to do. I mean, the other things obviously we've talked about 24 little hours. You've got to come in the code, which we can't talk about. Yeah, we can talk about it. I can't tell you what I do in it because there's only one scene of me, and then. I don't know, it just spoil it. But Patrick was there going, because I've got this film that I can't talk to you about. Yeah. But it is, you've seen the teaser trailer, it's just literally 10 seconds of, you go, what? Yeah. It's, great little thing. Brilliant. But yeah, it's obviously something there's not much of the story you can actually say, because it will spoil it. I mean, what you didn't find cut from Patrick's was that I completely ruined one of his other shorts, because I just turned around and gave some lines at the end, and I was like, they're really, obviously, and then I turned around and was like, yeah, that's probably just ruined it for everyone. you don't need to watch any of the previous 20 minutes. Yeah, that's it. You've done it. You've done it. But no, with the code, it is, from what Patrick, remember him saying on your podcast, it's about 3 soldiers that get caught behind sort of enemy lines, and it's their struggle to sort stuff out.
Yeah.
And loads of shit hits the fan for them. And well, Kevin Leslie, Rob, I can't remember last name. Sorry, Rob. Rob's in there. Jacob is in there. I know you're speaking to Jacob in a couple of days. That'll be cool. They're all lovely, lovely people. And again, like, there's another person I've met in my life, Richard Oakes, the DOP. He's just the most incredible person I've ever met. It usually is when you're an actor. It's usually the people behind the camera. That, I mean, I fucking hate actors. No, I don't. It's a lie. But no. They're the worst people in the world. We're terrible. We just drink, we smoke, we don't care about anybody but ourselves. We hate it. But no, genuinely, Richard Oakes is a talent that, again, I don't know if that guy's not in Hollywood in the next couple of years filming stuff like in a R2 kind of level, then there's no justice in the world, because he's the nicest fella you'll ever meet. He is the most talented DOP I've ever met. He can make something look like something completely different, different end of the scale, and he is the talent that he has working a camera and working post and working special effects. Just never met anyone like it. Like, and him working with Patrick is like, that's a powerhouse team that you literally can't find anyone else in London. I'll bet anybody that they can't find someone. If you give them $5 to make a film, they could make it and it'd be better than anybody else who pay that money in London. They are the most humbling people in the world. They know what they're good at, and they're just really nice about it. And they make incredible cinema, which is so privileged to be on the Code. Richard shot 24 Little Hours as well, which is again massive film to be involved in. Paul Knight came to me and says, there's a role in this film, I'd love you to be him. Have a look at it, see what you think. I'm like, I'm already in, Paul. Like, I know I've met Paul a few years before, and I'd always been in contact on Facebook with him. And again, a genuinely nice, really talented fella that knows how to make a film and knows how to do stuff. Has had a load of shit thrown at him throughout the last couple of years and whatnot. We're trying to get other films out, but he's just shot a film in 8 days now. It's a feature film now. If anyone can do that, come and let us know. And if it's on this level that we've just done, I'd like to see it, because
it is bloody
everybody on that was, again, everybody did their job. Everyone came in. It was 8 days. It was long days. Chris, who plays the lead in it, Chris Johnson, again, an incredible actor. He's been burrowing away in the background doing stuff. A genuinely nice bloke, and again, he's knocked it out of the park. And he says bugger all in the film. He says nothing. He says absolutely nothing in the film. So working with him, Mark Bannerman. Mark Bannerman is a lovely guy. He sits there. Neal, it was so lovely to be here. That's my impression of Mark. Don't fucking hate me, Mark, but loveliest guy, the most interesting voice I've ever heard in my life. And we smashed out 8 days of filming, and it's going to be something special.
Fantastic. You just can't blown it now. 8 days of film, it's called 24 Little Hours. It's not 24
hours. 8 days of film. 8 days. I see.
I'm kidding.
30 locations. A cast of about 25.
In 8 days, that's bloody impressive.
It's massively impressive, and so much pressure on Richard. But every shot that we saw on the rushes or the playback, every little bits we've seen, the teaser trailer for that, it just looks beautiful.
Cool.
And so yeah, Paul Knight is someone to watch. And again, definitely, if anyone out there wants to get involved, that he's got a lot of stuff coming. So
totally agree.
One to check out.
Yeah, they're brilliant people as well.
I'll take that £20 off you later, Paul.
20? I only get the 5.
I see. I think I owe him 20 quid actually.
So kind of what advice would you give to anyone who's starting out in acting then?
Oh mate,
who's struggling to try and get their first step in there? I know a couple of people who's trying to,
do you know what?
Included.
No, it's I don't know. I can either be really honest here, or I could be really like, I could be really reserved. I don't know. What do you want? Which do you want?
Brutally honest. You're screwed.
Hey, you've got to be good.
I
mean, that's a given with anything. There's a problem with this industry. I find that there's too many people that keep getting told by people they're good. It's the X Factor syndrome. When the girl goes in and completely ruins a song that's a classic, and then they go, no, you're not good. Who's telling you to do this? And then you get the interview outside, and there's someone out there going, I don't know why she's not, why did they take her, she's amazing. And you go, those are the people that are telling people they're good and they're not,
Yeah.
and they need to quit, and that's terrible. Everyone should have a dream, everyone should aspire, but people also need to be able to deal with the truth and be able to take criticism. And I mean, for me, it wasn't. I've been doing it for so many years, and I've never given up. Now, the other thing I would say to anyone trying to do it is, it's a fucking long, bumpy ride, and there's ups and downs. It's not all glory. It's not all. We're not always in the limelight, and people now will say, "Oh, you're doing so well. You're doing this and whatever." And I'll go, "I've got pot to piss in. I've got nothing in the minute. I've done these films. These films are great, but they were a year ago. Like 24 was January. That's a good turnaround." But I'm doing nothing at the minute. I'm filming tomorrow with Josh Herdman, so that's another thing. So me and him are doing something finally together. But it's not all glory. It really isn't. You can't expect to just walk into this industry and go, "I'm going to be an actor." You can go in there and do it. It helps if you have a lot of money that you could go, "Oh, I can make this film with people I know that are good." That's a given. Anybody with money, that's the unfortunate thing. You can go and make anything. If I had £1 million in the bank tomorrow, I know exactly who I'd be calling up to film a film, to be in the film. We all know this, but it's just not said enough. Loads of people just come in thinking they can do it, and it is oversaturated. The industry is massively oversaturated.
It is. I'm not going to name it, but I know a film where I'm not even, I know of.
You got to name it now. Come on.
No, I'll name it after I know of the film. But in my eyes, it was just a couple of guys who got together and thought, "Let's do this." And without being funny, that had more acting ability. You know, than and I'm being cruel, and I'm probably
no, you shouldn't be.
But it's true. But that's my eyes. I really had to, because the acting there, this concrete. Was Ben, you know, and because I was just sitting there willing it to be good.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
And I was just like, oh, I really was. I couldn't finish it. I was cringing. I watched it because of certain things, which I'm not going to say on air. I watched it because of that. But
you've got
you have to be. Yeah, you have to be sort of like.
I mean, I think it's pivotal. I mean, I think I've not listened to I've listened to a few of your interviews and stuff with people, and it is very much. It's nice people talk about the nice things, and I'm doing this, and I can sit here and go, I'm doing this film, doing that film, I've got this coming. But when you ask questions like that, it deserves an honest answer. It really, really does. If you've got, Hollywood is exactly the same. It's like when people like, I don't know, the Libertines and people like when they make albums when they're struggling, and their albums come out, and their first album is incredible and it's revolutionary, and Arctic Monkeys, and they bring out all this stuff of their pain and suffering, and they're suddenly getting out of that bracket of they're struggling and they've got all the money in the world. Everyone goes, Kings of Leon, oh, they've sold out now. They've not sold out. They set out with a goal and they've progressed through, and they're now at their goal. So they're not bothered. And it's the same with actors. You get to a point, but if you think that point from A to B is going to be nice and easy, and you can walk in and do whatever you wish you can do without putting in the effort, or being true to yourself and being nice and humble and appreciative of everything that everybody else does, then you may get there, but you'll be a dick. And this is the reality of acting. You can't. I mean, it's people like the Paul Knights, the Patrick Ryders, and people like Gary Young that write these stories for people like myself. I mean, I grew up in Derby. It wasn't not a massively lavish lifestyle. My dad worked at Rolls Royce. My mum didn't work for a few years. She now works at Asda on self-checkout. The day comes when I can go, Mum, you don't need to work there, but she is quitting. She is retiring, aren't you, Mum? But years before, I've wished I could do that to give them a better life. And it's the people, like I say, the Pauls and the Patricks, that give the opportunity to the people that are genuinely good at what they do, but just haven't had that chance yet. And it's a chance for them to shine and shine through. Now, when you get to Hollywood, Hollywood is just a money churner, and you'll make films, and then the films that make money are not really relevant, and they're just entertainment. And the films that people are trying to make, like Lance and Patrick, are trying to make these films, but no one wants to throw money at them. They go, they should be. They should have all the money in the world for the stuff that they make, because it's incredible. But
it is,
if I was giving any advice, she's going to go through a lot of shit. You're going to be, I'm depressed, fucking all that kind of stuff. And when I'm on a high, it's on a high. It literally is that. And if you're good and you put in the work, and you work at it, and you meet the right people. Again, the right people do help you put it in. So again, Hollywood, when you got the money, you can just pull your friends together and go, let's make a film. Then you can. And you only get that right when you've worked all the way up. It takes years to become an overnight success. And
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
It took me 30 years to become an overnight success.
Not Russell Crowe. Gerard Butler, again, was about 30 odd. Morgan Freeman wasn't 50 odd.
50s,
yeah. And
so
these people that we see as icons now, I've been struggling to win it. The perfect example is, I never remember his name, the guy from Inglourious Bastards, the German, the Jew hunter.
Yes.
I never remember his name.
I forgot his name now. So Christoph
Waltz.
Waltz, yeah, Christoph Waltz, yeah.
Again, he'd been toying around, working his bollocks off, literally trying to do stuff, and then Tarantino saw him, give him a role, and then he's Oscar winner. There you go.
Yeah.
And that's what usually happens. You could be the greatest footballer in the world, and you're playing football in Hyde Park every Sunday, and nobody sees you.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's it.
That's how it is.
And it is all it is. And it's about timing. It's about hard work. I don't believe in luck. Luck's, everyone says, oh, it's luck, and it's not.
No.
If you put in the hard work, you'll eventually be seen. If you want to sit there and coast, which I did a lot when I was younger, and did sort of expect the world on a plate, and I realised I was quite good at something.
Yeah.
I did, and I'm not going to hold it back or say anything. I was an arrogant little shit back then. I went for RADA and Bristol Old Vic Theatre School. I went for them, and I went, nah. They didn't want me, so I went, well, fuck you. That's literally what I did, and I never did drama school, so I did screen school. Did screen school for a year. Yeah. And then I just went, And a lot of the people that came from my area, sort of Lauren Socker, Michael Socker, Jack O'Connell, are friends of mine. I know of them, and I've spent time with them and worked with them a bit, like when I was younger. They didn't train. They're considered really great actors, and I come from the same stock, if you want to call it, from Derby, where there's not much going on. So you've got more of a... I think the less that you train to be an actor, you can't be taught to be an actor. You're either good at it or you're not. And then you can hone in on it and you can perfect it. But if you can't act, you can't act. That was it. So there should be an app that tells you if you can act or can't, and if you should bother with it. But
that should be
hard work, determination.
Exactly. I know, I totally agree. And you know, I mean, it's the same in what I do now, because I've got that. I keep getting that. My mentality is I'm in the X Factor bit because I keep getting people saying that I'm really good, and I personally think I'm shit.
Well, I do as well. I've seen bits and bobs being like, oh, why do people like that? And
but people, you know, but I've got. I know there are genuine people now who say it, so I know that. You know, there must be something for God's sake.
Something's good,
and it's just waiting. It's working hard because, like yourself, with an actor. I mean, I've said this on a few shows. There's people for every one show that you might be in, every one credit that you've got, there's 100 where you've been told, no, you're fucking shite. You know, pardon me.
You're only as good as your last project. You're only as good as your last project because that's your calling card for the next however many years.
It is, and for every time I get someone like you on, there's depression and anxiety, because I suffer from anxiety, but there's loads of depression when people say no all the time, like Matthew Modine before. Siri and McKellen would rather not be interviewed by me on my show from his publicist. You know, Tom Hardy. Sadly.
Again, it's that
I know where he hangs out though, so I'm gonna.
Well, I wish I did. I live near where he grew up now, so it's. But again, it's
camp out Battersea Dog Zone.
The thing is this. I do believe it's those people would happily try and do it. Like I would happily do anything. I try and speak to anybody and whatever. You probably caught me at the right time because what happens is agents sort of stonewall their clients. So they're only interested in this. And, and they're only interested in the money and. That sounds bad. Some of them do. My agent's great. She cares about what you do. But other agencies out there, I know people that have tried to contact the likes of A-listers, B-listers, C-listers, and it goes to their agent, but it won't. But if it got into their hands, they'd probably go, yeah, I want to do it. And that's when they'd have an argument with their agent saying, I'm going to do it. And it's all it is. They're still people. They're
it's
still
like
nice
Tom,
people.
for example, Tom Hardy. I think he's such a nice guy that if I actually got to him,
if you met him in the street, to it.
I know, I call them doctor's receptionists. Because that's their job.
Sorry, they're not here at the moment. Can I take a message? No.
But I mean, there's one. I mean, there's a couple. There's one actress who I got in touch with. Said she'd do it. Can I get in touch with her agent? So I did. And then she messaged me. Did my agent get back to you? And I said, well, no. She goes, probably because you weren't offering enough. And I said, well, I don't offer anything. I said, I'm sorry, I don't make any money from this. So please, any sponsors, I don't make any money from this. Help me.
People like this need a helping hand. You know what I mean? You need to do it. But again,
this is passion. It's the passion that I do this, like yourself. Because, like, you know, how many times have you gone through where there's no, you know, nothing going on. It's the passion that drives you through and pushes you. That's how you do it. I'm going to push to the last question now because we're starting to get people, probably take people's tables up.
They're going to come and...
Yeah, because right on the Muppet question, so I'm going to have to do my impression in front of everyone.
Oh, it's the Muppets again. Good.
So, as you know, you've heard Patrick's, you've heard a few others. If you could have a Muppet created after you, what Muppet would it be?
Muppet created after me. I love Patrick's response. Kermit went for the easy option there, didn't he?
Yeah, you did there, Neal. I can't do my Kermit now. I've had to drink.
Oh, you've lost it.
I've lost my I've twisted the camera. Hang on.
Oh, God, we got to restart that one again.
Oh, sugar. Got low battery remaining as well. Alright, that'll do. Low battery, low light. Right.
Low battery, low light. We've been here so long.
Yeah.
It's 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah. So Patrick's Kermit was, you know, that's
Patrick's Kermit. Yeah, I enjoyed Patrick's Kermit.
Yeah.
He'd be a Kermit. I think. I don't know. I'd have to go for Beaker probably.
Yeah.
That's as best as we're going to get.
That's not the only impression I'm going to get off you, Neal. Seriously.
Probably. My Tom Hardy's good, but you're not getting that.
No, you got to do that now.
Jealous.
Yeah,
huh?
you got to do that now.
I get asked this every time. Chris, actually, I was doing a bit of work with Chris Johnson the other week, and he told someone that I do a good Tom Hardy. Yeah. It's not a good Tom Hardy. It's just a scene from Legend. You know, when he comes in and they walk into the bar, and he comes up, and then the Ronnie or Reggie stands there, and the guy's got a thing in his hand, and he goes, "What's that?" He goes, "It's a tool, puff. What are you going to do with that?" He goes, "Bake me a cake. Who are you, fatty credit? You're going to sing me happy birthday, happy bloody fucking candles, yeah? I came here for a shootout, yeah, with real men, yeah, like Colonel Custard, Geronimo. Do you know who they are? No, because you're too busy and you fucking pity baking fucking fairy cakes, yeah? Go on, out my fucking way. Reds, these guys are fucking nonsense. Nonsense to a man, yeah? Out my fucking way, yeah?"
That's brilliant.
That's it. Yeah, I get that all the time. Waste of my fucking time. Wankers. Yeah.
That sounds really good. So you've heard all mine are crap. I'm Yoda's. Do or do not.
The Yoda.
Don't try. That's my Yoda.
The Yoda.
Donald. That's about it. What's the other one I did? Oh, I did the can't now. Goofy was like, hello there, folks. It's, you know, I used to do that. I actually went to Disney 2 years ago, and my son was asking me to do that there, and I had to do it to Daft Donald Duck. I did it to Daisy, and she was like, the people were going, "Go and tell Donald." So I did it, and he was like, gave me a big hug to Daisy. Did it to Goofy, and he was like, high five me, and I was like, "Yeah, you know, I'm 40 years old. This is age." High five by Goofy.
I think there should always be, if there was one sort of actor in the world that I'd love to be turned into a Muppet, it would be Christopher Walken. I think a Christopher Walken Muppet would just be like, that was another thing, is like, the best bit of advice I've ever taken from anything that I've ever seen or ever, I don't usually do too many classes or stuff like that, but Walken said this brilliant thing on, which I do with all my work. He said it on the Actors Studio thing with that, what's his name, the really annoying fella that interviews them all, Lipman or whatever his name is. And his advice was that he only reads his own lines. He only reads his own stuff because other actors will tell you the other lines. You don't need to know. But your job as an actor is to know yours and then to listen to what they say. And he says he just takes out all punctuation, he takes out everything and just learns his own stuff, which I think is brilliant. It's time saver as well.
True.
If you've got big lines there, just learn your own shit. You need to listen to what they tell you to work out how you respond with your line. But a Christopher Walken Muppet, I mean, it'd be really great if someone came in and had a Muppet of Christopher Walken, because it would be really, really interesting, you know? That's terrible, that can't go out. That's
better than my Christopher Walken, which I used to do one, I can't do it anymore. But
one of the hardest ones to do, so that was terrible for me.
He's got a real serious New York accent, but it's a whiny one. Cool. So, before I turn this off, is there anything you want to say to people?
Hey Mum, hey Dad, thanks for everything. Going somewhere finally. But yeah, that's about it. But yeah, big shout out to Paul Knight for 24 Little Hours. Hopefully, I don't know, don't quote me on this, that should be out soon. Big shout out to Two Graves. So the 9th of June is the premiere at Curzon Soho. Grab some tickets. There's some limited public tickets available if you want to go to that, with a big Q&A session with most of the cast and the director Gary Young. So get down for that. That would be a good thing to go for. And then yeah, to everyone else and to Sharon Sorrentino one last time, thank you for sort of creating my career. Thank you very much.
Cool.
And thanks Chris for having me. Really
you're welcome, actually.